Let's start with the fact that there is no place for compromises in the animal world. The merciless struggle does not stop even for a second. Even silence is deceptive and turns into a fierce battle for life in a matter of seconds. In these battles, sharp fangs, claws, and hooves are used. In addition, such a battle for survival, offspring, and territory kills the silence of savannas, jungles, and reservoirs. In this episode, we have collected for you the most vivid, uncompromising, and brutal animal battles captured on camera by random eyewitnesses. Well, after that, who will say that animals do not have empathy? Can you see it too? The lizard, risking its own life, came to the aid of a relative. It was not confused by the real danger in the form of a snake because its friend's life was at stake. Even the most peaceful and calm animals are capable of terrible aggression, including towards their own. In the face of mortal danger, some superpowers awaken in some animals. This cat suddenly learned to fly. These unique shots allow us to see how skilled hunters leopards are. By easily maneuvering and jumping from branch to branch, this wildcat leaves no chance for prey. Do you know that lions do not like hunting? They prefer to delegate it to females. However, in order to compete with each other for power, a lioness, or territory, they are always ready to engage in a fierce duel in order to amuse their already inflated ego. What an epic battle, isn't it? Two brown bears attack each other with all the power and strength of their heavy bodies. This is not just a clash of two predators, this is a brutal fight of heavyweights. The leopard chose a lone bear as a victim and attacked it. The predator thought that this hunt would be easy, but the boar did not intend to give up so easily, so it began to actively and quite successfully fight the predator. The fight turned out to be hot, but unfortunately it was successful only for the wild cat. Female fights are always much more violent. In the animal world, everything is exactly the same. Two cows clashed in a serious battle. Just look at the ferocity and aggression with which they stepped on each other. The tension between them is so strong that they inflict injuries not only on each other, but also destroy everything around them. The lionesses went hunting and noticed a buffalo straggling from the pack. Without hesitation, they attacked it with a whole pride. It usually ends at this point, but not this time. Relatives of an animal in trouble heard a cry for help and rushed to save it. In the wild, aggressive, full of anger and hatred battles often happen between representatives of the same species. The reasons are always the same: females, a struggle for power, or someone's pride. The animal laws of the animal kingdom are very cruel and even ruthless. When a lion overthrows the old pride leader by winning, it takes over its male offspring so that these cubs will not compete with it over time. Occasionally, females try to protect babies, but rules are there to follow. Everyone needs water and cannot live without it. This is especially true for animals living in hot and arid areas. That is why watering places are the most vulnerable and dangerous, because here, when the animals are as relaxed as possible, they can be in mortal danger. I wonder what caused such an emotional conflict between the two hippos. These guys were obviously very angry with each other. Just look how aggressively they open their mouths and step on each other. No one will definitely come out of such a duel unharmed. What a brave squirrel. I've never seen something like that before. This fearless little rodent decided to attack the cobra first. It's amazing, isn't it? The one who usually acts as a victim is the one who is being protected today. Its courage can only be applauded. In the wild, everything is often clear. Strong predators defeat their weak victims, but sometimes it goes wrong and animals that are usually oppressed fight back and save their lives. Wild dogs are good at the ability to work harmoniously in a team. These four-legged creatures choose the weakest, sickly, frightened animal and then attack it with their whole horde. As you can see, they are able to win by attacking in groups. Watching the battle of these two monitor lizards, I begin to understand what inspired the creators of Godzilla. The fighting movements of these animals are uniquely sharp, clear, and extremely powerful. Every blow is deliberate and planned. This is not just a fight between two angry animals. No, this is a beautiful duel. Wolves hunt well both alone and in a pack. To be fair, it should be said that together they are more willing to attack much stronger animals than themselves. And we're moving on at the speed of light. All the most interesting things are still ahead. Eyesight is the most important weapon of birds. Their retinas are designed in a unique way that allows them to see more clearly over long distances than is possible for humans. It is thanks to this feature that it is almost impossible to hide from their sharp gaze. The situation when a predator attacks an herbivore is common in the animal kingdom. However, for a predator to attack a predator, this is rather an exception to the rule. The tiger was very hungry since it decided to try its luck and attack an opponent who was not inferior to it in strength, weight, and endurance. After what I saw, I think I began to understand people who are afraid of dogs. I would not like to be near such a ruthless slaughter. Do not underestimate ungulates. The zebra may have strayed from the herd, but it can still stand up for itself and escape from the strong grip of a hungry predator. The hawk grabbed the seagull with a death grip. The latter is trying to free, but in this situation, it's all pointless. The predator will hold it until she is completely exhausted and then take it to the nest. Despite the fact that the lion is smaller in size than a buffalo, it is still the strongest predator and the king of animals. This dominant wildcat was able to overturn even the bravest and most powerful animals if, of course, it gets hungry. Wolverine is a unique beast. Its appearance does not cause anyone either horror or fear, but if you come face to face with it, then even the most famous predators will lose. It would seem that for a mountain goat, such a slope is an ideal place where it is almost indisputable because only it can roam calmly along the mountain slopes, but for an eagle this is not an obstacle, but rather a slight complication in a deliberately winning battle. What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you? Despite the fact that wolves and coyotes have their roots in the same species, they still seriously conflict in the wild. A pack of wolves surrounded a couple of coyotes and brutally attacked one of them. The other, realizing that it would not be possible to save a friend, but there was still a chance for his life, fled in a panic. To attack a rhinoceros alone, you need to be either fearless or omnipotent. Few creatures can resist such a powerful giant. These deer obviously have a lot of perseverance. These two are not going to give up or concede victory to the other. They will fight to the bitter end, even if it takes too long. The collision of two bears is always cruel. When two heavyweights engage in a brutal battle, the rest of the animals should move away for their own safety. Bears have not only great physical strength, but also a strong spirit. When attacked by wolves, this poor hare loses the battle in all aspects. It is smaller, slower, and weaker. That's why a small animal has to come up with creative solutions to confuse the wolf and save its life. I think everyone who watches our channel has already heard about the wolverine's abilities. This animal is not a timid one. If necessary, it can easily put the lion in its place. The secret weapon of every horse is its legs. After a precise blow from behind, the opponent may never get up again. Before attacking, one should assess their strength. This pony, overestimating its capabilities, wanted to hit the camel with its hind hooves, but immediately regretted it very much. This is the most intense battle of gazes, but it doesn't get any less interesting. This is a unique duel between two horned beetles. These rare shots definitely deserve your close attention. As you can see, they're rough, but at the same time precise movements attract the eye and make you watch them with interest. If you haven't liked this episode yet, now is the best time to do it. I do not understand how such a small sheep decided to attack a horse that greatly surpasses it in size and strength, but I admire its courage, tenacity, and confidence. The animal world is harsh and unpredictable. Even when one danger is already over, another, no less expected and merciless, is waiting for the victim again. The lion pride lives according to a well-established hierarchy. In general, they stay in the same territory for a long time. Males protect their pride from strangers and other uninvited guests. However, when lionesses are alone, other females also start to protect each other. Even when there is no chance to escape, fortune gives a second chance. Buffaloes are fearless animals and always fiercely defend their relatives. Fights between tigers are perhaps one of the most epic battles among predators. It is almost impossible to capture them on camera. Even a formidable leopard can become easy prey for a pack of African painted dogs. Numerical superiority, aggressive nature, and well-coordinated collective hunting leaves no chance for a larger and more ferocious predator. So, its fate is obvious. The hierarchy of the largest representatives of modern primates, gorillas, is expressed no less vividly than in the lion pride. The alpha male always strictly keeps order in his territory. The battles of these giants weighing more than 1.5 tons are among the most impressive in the wild. During the mating season, males fight over females. Their fights last for hours, and the rivals use fangs up to 40 centimeters long, inflicting deep wounds on each other. Animals at the watering hole are the most vulnerable, and predators rarely miss this opportunity. This lioness took advantage of this and attacked the wildebeest. However, in the case of hippos, single hunting is usually doomed to failure. These shots are a vivid confirmation of that. The predator had to quickly retreat. This female giraffe, while protecting the cub, clashed in a merciless battle with a pack of lionesses. After several attacks, it managed to break away from the predators, but the cub could not be saved. It is hardly possible to imagine a more epic confrontation than the fights between rhinos. They occur both between males during the mating period and between females protecting their offspring. Often such battles take place with other inhabitants of reservoirs. In these unique shots, a rhinoceros and a hippopotamus clashed in battle, and the advantage is clearly not in the favor of the former. Jaguars are skilled hunters, skillfully waiting for the right moment for an attacking strike. Even such a large prey as a caiman can be attacked by this skillful predator. Alaskan brown bears are scary, large-sized predators. These are forest animals that adhere to a solitary lifestyle. Nevertheless, the battles of these forest giants are always impressive in their scope and duration. These shots are another confirmation that living close to large predatory cats is always a lottery. In fact, the winner is almost obvious in all cases. Attacking an animal, which is 3 times heavier, is not an easy task. However, this did not stop the cougar from entering this unequal battle. As you can see, the result still met expectations. African painted dogs are true masters of collective hunting. Numerical superiority often affects the choice of a potential victim. This time, one of its friends came to the rescue and saved it from imminent death. Wildebeest are one of the crocodile's favorite victims. Watering is always a lottery for them because the predatory reptile is constantly on the alert.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
Warthogs are at no less risk at the watering hole. Having excellent reactions, they skillfully avoid lightning attacks. These shots are a vivid confirmation of that. A wildebeest can repel the attack of a crocodile only occasionally. However, in confrontation with a lone predator and being in a herd, the chances of survival increase many times. If everything turns out the other way around, and a lone wildebeest is being chased by a whole pack of predators, agility and speed remain the only salvation. Hyenas rarely attack large buffaloes, especially when they're in a herd. Nevertheless, quite often their cubs become the object of attack. In these moments, the fearless mother protects its calf with all its might. The main weapon of warthogs is formidable, strong fangs. When they fight among themselves, it's the fangs that play a decisive role in the outcome of the battle. These battles can be very long in time. Now we have another video of a successful crocodile attack. It would seem that this outcome was obvious until the two hippos made their own adjustments to the fight. In this case, the crocodile decided not to take any chances and quickly retreated. For a predatory reptile, the water element is the most comfortable environment for attacking its victims. However, once on land, they become a victim. Obviously, wild dogs cannot handle such prey, and hunting is unlikely to be successful. Collective defense is an instinctively proven weapon. This flock of mongooses, while defending themselves from angry baboons, boldly repels the attack, letting the offenders know that it was a huge mistake to attack them. In the wild, predators and their prey live side by side, so silence is always deceptive. At any second, such a silence could explode. At this moment, events begin to develop at lightning speed. In these shots, you can see a lion and lioness attacking a herd of buffaloes crossing a pond. Buffaloes are more vulnerable in the water, and lions often resort to such tactics. Predators target cubs or weak individuals, making their task easier. At the same time, buffaloes, staying in the herd, act confidently and aggressively, and this often saves the situation. Crossing water barriers is particularly dangerous for any artiodactyl, especially when it comes to rivers or reservoirs where crocodiles can be found. These shots are a clear confirmation of that. The reptiles attack with lightning speed, leaving the victims no chance. When a pack of wolves catches up with musk oxen, they usually already have time to prepare for a circular defense. In this case, wolves cannot break through the barrier consisting of horns and hooves. Therefore, the wolves can only wait, testing the patience of the musk oxen when the nerves will not stand the strain and the circle will open. Sometimes, by running around them, the wolves manage to force the musk oxen to change their position so that they cannot see the attackers. African painted dogs are no less skilled masters of collected hunting. Their strength is hidden in their numbers and competent attacking skills. Having forced the leopard, which has been sitting in a tree for a long time, to go down, the dogs attack it with lightning speed. The leopard makes unsuccessful attempts to protect itself, but there is no chance, so its chances of survival are almost zero. Often, in order not to become a victim, animals do not need either speed or caution. Ordinary luck can save a life in the most desperate situation. In this case, the antelopes are in a place inaccessible to dogs, so now they only need to wait. In mountainous conditions, animals are exposed to no less danger. Feathered predators are always on the alert. One of the most uncompromising confrontations is the fight between male lions for the right to mate with a female. If you thought that the most severe inhabitant of the reservoir was a crocodile, then you were wrong. An enraged hippopotamus, especially when it's not alone, represents an even more destructive force. The otter, although significantly inferior in size to the leopard, nevertheless has a fearless disposition. By choosing such an object to attack, the predator risks losing a lot of things. Giraffes are giants up to 4.5 meters tall and weighing up to 2 tons. Even for an entire pride of lions, such prey is a serious challenge that requires a lot of effort. When an animal is exhausted from a grueling struggle, the main task of the lion is to knock it down. Then the victim has no chance of survival. This adult cougar attacks a baby grizzly bear that is strayed from its parents. Despite the fact that the victim is inferior in size and strength, the cougar does not dare to attack for a long time. Having made an attempt, it receives an aggressive rebuff and then leaves the battlefield. One of the basic instincts of animals is to protect their offspring. Buffaloes can even stand up to lions alone, But protecting their cubs, they become extremely aggressive, and a lone predator is almost doomed or can get fatal injuries. Hunting even a small elephant involves the efforts of not one, but several lions. The Nyala antelope is not a large animal, and its only weapon is its long and strong horns. Nyala males, when danger catches them by surprise, are able to attack the offender with lightning speed. In fact, the blow of such horns can be fatal for the aggressor. Thompson's gazelle is an animal with an amazing reaction and incredible speed. In these frames, you can see how being attacked by a lioness at a watering hole, it instantly runs away while leaving no chance for the predator. Hyenas are less mobile than antelopes, but lions are not usually interested in them because there are high chances of a fatal mistake. Lonely hyenas crossing the way of a lion are usually doomed to death. Double-humped camels are peaceful animals that reach a weight of up to half a ton. However, they often engage in fights during the mating period. At this time, males become very aggressive, so they bite, spit, and fight with their front legs. A camel knocked to the ground usually leaves the battlefield, and the female goes to the winner. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the hunting of a leopard for a porcupine and its sad consequences. Lions are aware of the threat from its sharp and long needles and prefer not to take risks. The consequences of such pricks can be extremely painful. The kudu antelope is not the most successful prey for a pack of African painted dogs, especially in the conditions of a reservoir. Despite the numerical advantage of the attackers, the animal behaves confidently and aggressively, so it manages to avoid the attack. The Bengal tiger is no less a bloodthirsty and skillful hunter. This lone killer often attacks elephants, but large and strong individuals are not the best choice. It is not often possible to see a confrontation between an elephant and a rhinoceros. In general, this happens due to the struggle for territory. Getting along in one body of water is often not easy. In fact, a crocodile does not always cause fear in hippos, known for their cool temper. However, if there is a cub next to the female, it is better for the reptile not to tempt fate. Both lions and hyenas are gregarious animals and almost always act together. A pack of hyenas attacks a lioness who has strayed from the pride, and it will not survive alone in this fight. The relatives who arrived in time quickly repelled the attacks of the aggressive pack. A lion and a leopard in a fight for prey find themselves at the top of the tree. The branch cannot withstand their weight, and both predators fall down with all their might. The strength and invulnerability of lions largely depend on their cohesion. Solitary individuals rarely survive, as they become victims of smaller but outnumbered predators. Hyenas attack a lone lioness, leaving them no chance of survival in this bloodthirsty fight. But somehow, amazingly, she manages to fend off the attack. In this unique video, the wildebeest incredibly avoids the attack of a large pride of lions. Due to the speed and instinct of self-preservation, the animal manages to save its life. The impala cub, sensing danger, approaches the reservoir to quench its thirst. The crocodile is a skilled hunter by nature, so it conducts a lightning attack that is not destined to succeed. The incredible reaction of a potential victim deprives the reptile of a long-awaited meal. This hare demonstrates an equally amazing reaction, skillfully avoiding the attack of a feathered predator. For these two lionesses who attacked the wildebeest, the fight is not developing according to their scenario. The animal turned out to be too strong and literally impaled one of the predators on its sharp horn, so the hunt failed. This Nyala antelope acts no less courageously against two hungry cheetahs. Maneuvering and successfully using dense thickets of trees and its sharp horns, it leaves the offenders with nothing. These incredible shots were made in the Shamwari Nature Reserve in South Africa. The blessbuck antelope, trying to avoid the attack of two lionesses, makes a desperate leap off a cliff, but in the air, it is attacked by one of the predators.
Before watching similar videos, it would be great to buy some sedative pills. One needs nerves of steel here.
Horns are a formidable weapon even for peace-loving pets. These dogs have felt all their destructive power. Both the lion and the hyena are bloodthirsty predators who do not often fight, but if they do fight, the outcome of a single combat is usually always predictable. If only a few people can see the battles in the wild, then each of you has definitely watched the fights among yard dogs. They happen quite often and are not inferior in cruelty to battles between wild animals. Now I want to tell you that guanaco camels living in South America can also be very aggressive despite their peaceful appearance. This video was shot in one of the snow-covered corners of Siberia. Two wolves attack Wolverine, but even despite the difference in size, it makes it clear that their efforts are in vain. Now we can witness a real drama unfolding on this pond. The white swan, defending its territory, got into a fight with a goose. Elephants, despite their peacefulness, do not always favor uninvited guests. The hippos decided not to push their luck, and now they will have to look for a new place to rest. Battles among artiodactyls are no less rare than in other animals. In these shots, two kudu antelopes clashed in a fierce battle. Even when an abuser is bigger and stronger than you, the outcome of the battle is not always obvious. The size of the opponent does not always matter. This kudu antelope, much smaller than the giraffe, is trying to actively attack it. The giraffe has no choice but to flee. These shots are another vivid example of successful collective actions. A flock of baboons, whose relative was in trouble with almost no chance of survival, repels the attack of a merciless reptile. In this video, you can see two sea lions. The fight of these giants weighing up to 4 tons are very brutal. Sometimes they end with fatal results. It is impossible to ignore the fights between hippos. These animals can be extremely aggressive, especially during mating periods. In the world of pets, even ordinary domestic confrontations can look no less impressive. Fights between large artiodactyls happen quite often in the wild. In other conditions, this mainly happens within the framework of traditional festivals that are held in Central Asia. In these frames, you can see one of these fights. Now let's go back to the wild. This is creepy footage of a leopard attacking a zebra and its cub who came to a pond. The mother makes attempts to repel the predator's attack, but unfortunately, all efforts are in vain. For a hungry lion, it doesn't matter who to hunt. However, the choice of a victim does not always meet expectations. One of the most brutal fights are those between hyenas. Perhaps it is difficult to imagine a more uncompromising and bloody battle. The result of such fights is often fatal. Hooves are no less deadly weapons than horns. One of the wolves that attacked the yak was able to feel the full force of this weapon. The numerical advantage is often a key factor in any confrontation in the wild. Even a ferocious predator gives in to a herd of buffaloes, knowing well that the fight will not take place according to its scenario. In this case, it can only wait, sitting in a tree, until the herd leaves. Now we have a rare video of a leopard attacking a dog. In the dead of the night, the predator entered the territory of the fire station and attacked the dog. In this seemingly unequal battle, the dog managed incredible efforts to repel the aggressor's attack and save its life. In fact, they are more aggressive and dangerous than we think.
It was so cool! It's hard to comprehend how this is even possible.
Sometimes mammals become victims of several predators at the same time. The Nyala antelope is surrounded by African painted dogs. A hippopotamus also threatens it from behind, protecting its territory. Having fought off the hippo, the antelope continues to resist the dogs, but the most important and invisible danger is still ahead. Sometimes predators become prey themselves. The jackal, attacking a flock of birds, does not notice the hidden leopard, which attacks it with lightning speed. I did not expect this donkey to become prey either, which was quietly grazing on the side of the mountain road. The leopard attacked it and dragged it down the slope. Its relatives could only silently watch the bloody show. Even such a formidable and agile predator as a leopard can become a victim. In this video, it was attacked by a lion pride, and having received serious injuries, it cannot resist the lionesses. Unexpectedly, it is attacked by a male, but the females vigilantly guard the prey, despite the fact that in the hierarchy of lions, the head of the pride always has the priority right to feast on the victim. This is a unique situation in which an antelope became the victim of 3 different predators at once. At first, it was attacked by a leopard, but its meal was interrupted by a pack of African painted dogs. Attacking the leopard and forcing it to climb a tree, they began to tear apart the antelope, but suddenly hyenas, more powerful and aggressive predators, appeared and deprived the African painted dogs of prey. In these breathtaking shots, the antelope, still realizing the impending danger, still decides to make a lightning jump into the water in the hope of reaching the shore. At the same time, both the crocodile and the hippopotamus rush after it, but the reptile, moving quickly and powerfully, catches up with the victim first and drags it to the bottom. Two leopards clashed in a fierce confrontation on the edge of a cliff. The end of the battle is obvious when one of them falls off a cliff and gets an injury incompatible with life. In general, giraffes are calm giants living in open herds without obvious alpha leadership. When adult males weighing 1.5 tons and a height of 6.5 meters are fighting for territory or the right to mate, their horns forcefully pierce the flesh of the enemy, causing severe injuries. Using the strength of the muscles of their long and powerful neck, males inflict ruthless blows on each other, which in some cases can lead to fatal consequences. Kangaroo fights usually begin with one male approaching another and striking with two paws in the head area. Both stand on soft feet, throw back their heads, and hit each other. Then they start to use the blows with the hind legs. Large paws and huge muscles on the legs ensure that the blow will be painful and destructive. Rhinoceros confrontations are an exciting and intimidating sight. Strong animals weighing 2 tons inflict powerful blows on each other with their horns, which often lead to fatal consequences. The ruthless truth of the wild, and another example of when danger lurks from all sides. Having barely fought off the attack of the crocodile, the antelope becomes a victim of the lion pride waiting for it on the shore. Lions attack with lightning speed, despite the danger of becoming a victim of the bloodthirsty reptile themselves. But in some amazing way, the antelope manages to escape and save its life. The lions noticed a buffalo escaping from the heat in a puddle of mud. Considering it ill or exhausted, they decided to attack, but the powerful animal quickly rebuffed the offenders. Perhaps one of the rarest confrontations in wildlife is the fights between tigers and lions, and this is often due to different inhabitants. In general, they most often occur in conditions of artificial conditions and nature reserves. Now we have a fight with the brown bears. The weight of an adult male reaches 300 kilograms and the body length is up to 2.5 meters. Bears do not fight with each other so often unless it is absolutely necessary, since the risk of serious injury is high. Much more often, they simply push each other by showing their superiority. The harsh world of wildlife is sometimes simply shocking in its cruelty. The animals living in it constantly have to fight for existence, food, a partner, or primacy, and their methods are always the same. They have to fight until the last drop of one's blood. Even though their battles may end in flight once in a while, this does not make their fights any less interesting. Many shots of animals in a fight, taken by photographers in various corners of the earth, are simply amazing. One can witness the incredible strength of wild animals, while their cruelty is often not comparable to any gladiatorial duel. Now, please subscribe to our channel, tell us in the comments what you liked, and stay with us. There is a real beast in every dog, which is impossible to get rid of even with the most rigorous training. Therefore, dogs can also fight with the most avid and experienced predators.
Have you also noticed that our time together flies at the speed of light? We can't wait to see you in our next episode. See you soon.